So the email that was sent to Don Jr. from Bob Goldstone said the Crown Prosecutor of Russia, it's unclear that there is a Crown Prosecutor in Russia, met with his father this morning and in their meeting offered to provide the Trump campaign with some official documents and information that would incriminate Hillary and her dealings with Russia and would be very useful to your father. This is obviously very high level and sensitive information, but is part of Russia and its government support for Mr. Trump. What does that say to you? And he wrote back, if it's what you say, I love it. What do those two statements represent in your mind?
Listen, first of all, I think you got to consider the source of the information and the recipient of the information. So on the source of the information, as I understand it, I've never met this guy, but the source of the information seems to me to be like a music promoter, right? Like, I don't think this is a guy who's necessarily sophisticated in the language of government like you and I would be. And the recipient of the information, Donald Trump Jr., who I know very well, is by no means a sophisticated political actor. This is a guy who loves his father and got involved in politics because his father got involved, but I don't think Don would have gotten involved at that level any other time. Now, all that being said, people who saw that at some point have to, I think, ask more questions. I don't know what that guy means, especially Crown Prosecutor.
I mean, Pat Moynihan said you're entitled to your own opinions, but not your own set of facts. I mean, this doesn't set up a fact pattern that makes clear that there was an offer to collude with the Russian government and an enthusiastic embrace of said collusion. And I'm not talking about...
No, here's my view.
So you don't agree that this is bungled collusion?
No, I don't, because I don't know who Goldstone is.
Does it matter, though? I mean, he brought in...
It does matter, because how does he... No, wait a second. It does matter for this reason. If Goldstone were an official of the Russian government, or someone who's been seen in the past to represent the Russian government, neither of those things, at least as far as I know, have been represented. That would be one thing. He's a music promoter who they dealt with in the Miss Universe pageant. So his representations, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be something that would raise some concerns, but I don't think his representations should necessarily be taken at face value.
So this doesn't, for you, represent clear-cut collusion?
No.
Why not?
Well, first of all, let's go to...
Because of who they are? I mean, you're basically saying he was just a music professor, and you're basically saying Don Jr. was dumb.
This would be... No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that first, with Goldstone, that you got to know that the information that he's relaying in that email is actually true. I could tell you that...
How do you know it's not?
Well, but now we're looking in retrospect. You're saying at the time, should that have raised concerns? I'm saying yes. Now you're saying, is it evidence of bungled collusion? Well, the only way that's evidence of bungled collusion is if Goldstone actually knew what he was talking about was correct. And I don't think we know that. Secondly, there's no evidence of actual collusion.
So for you, the discrepancy is whether or not Goldstone's information was good, not whether or not the son of an American candidate for president agreed to receive oppo from a hostile foreign power.
Listen, I think that Don Jr., and I think he said this himself, has said if he had to do over again, he would do it differently.
How do you do this differently? I mean, is it America? Is it patriotic to meet with the Russians?
Here's what you do. You send it to Don McGahn. Okay?
Or how about the FBI? I mean,
no. You don't send it to the FBI first. Let's take a deep breath, okay?
Really?
The first thing you do is
when an oppo book was delivered to Al Gore's campaign, he called the FBI.
Listen, but you don't know, excuse me, you don't know that they didn't talk to their campaign's lawyers first, and I suspect that's exactly what they did. I don't suspect that this guy on his own who received the book said, okay, I'm going immediately to the FBI. I suspect what happened was that he spoke to the campaign's lawyers, which any smart person should do.
So you're saying Don's not smart?
No, I'm saying he's not sophisticated in this stuff.
What about Jared Kushner?
Well, again, I don't know what Jared knew or didn't know. I think that's why it's important for all this stuff to get out. What I said yesterday was that, and I've been saying this for months, as you know, I think everybody's got to get the information about who met with who and about what, and get the information out there. Because I'm confident from speaking to the president that the president didn't authorize any collusion, didn't know about any collusion, and I don't even know that any collusion ever happened.
Do you think he should stand in the East Room and continue to bellow at the top of his lungs that there was no collusion?
That's our